What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today I'm bringing you guys a For Hire Danger deck profile. Now, recently I did a For Hire deck profile on the channel. This deck profile, however, was inspired by one of the people on our Discord. His name is Dravid, and he actually put this list together. It's not actually the exact same list that he put together, but we were discussing a For Hire Danger build on the Discord, and I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can do with this deck and my take on this deck. So that's what I decided to do. So if you guys want to be part of the community, join our Discord. The link will be at the top or somewhere in the description below. So check out the description. The Discord will definitely be there, so you guys can check that out. Like I say in every video, we talk about deck theory, like we put decks together, we help each other out. So that's what we do over there in the Discord. Again, I just want to make this more of a community and less of just a Yugi tuber telling you what to and what not to play. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Shout out David again, like I said, on the Discord for actually inspiring this deck profile. And if you guys actually do like these deck profiles, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to see a deck profile that you had in mind, again, join our Discord. Let's talk about it. And if I find it interesting, I'll be like, hey, I don't mind giving you guys a shout out. I will definitely give you guys a shout out, no problem. And it's fun for me to do these profiles as well. So let's get into it. We'll start off with the For Hires, and we are going to play 3B. Obviously still the best one. You need to play 3B. If you're ever playing For Hires, you need to play 3B. 3 Seal. Seal is pretty good as well. It's one of the better normal summons in the deck, so you want to play 3 Seals. Also level 4, which is actually relevant. 3 Bravo. Again, Bravo is also one of those cards that helps you OTK a little bit. The gain attack is pretty good. On top of that, being able to special summon another For Hire monster. All of them have the same first effect, where you can special summon another For Hire monster. Philo, I actually played at 3 in this profile, and the reason you play Philo at 3, in the other For Hire build, if you guys saw it, I only played it at 2. At this build, it's actually really good at 3. Because you're playing so many dangers, Philo is actually really good because the odds of you discarding your For Hire monsters are pretty high with the dangers. So what happens is Philo actually just recurs all your For Hire monsters from your graveyard. That's why I think For Hire is like just insanely good. Also, there's like a little, I wouldn't say it's a combo, but Philo is not a bad normal summon either because it makes your Link Karibo, and then you can go on from there. So Philo is pretty good in that sense. And then for the 2-ofs, I play double Helmer, double Recon, double Donpa. These are all like your utility cards. Helmer gets you a draw one. Recon gets you a pop, I think, back row, and then Donpa face up, or it's the opposite. This might pop back row, this might pop face up. One of the two, but basically just your utility cards. And then for your quote-unquote boss For Hire monsters, you are playing double Raphael. It's also a level 8, which is actually very important because you can actually make rank 8s in this deck with Bigfoot and Thunderbird, and Raphael is actually really, really good in that sense. And then just one Wiz For Hire. I didn't want to max out on any of the other big For Hires, mostly because they don't have the special summon effect in themselves, and I didn't want to put too many of those monsters that could potentially brick. So that's why I just decided to leave it at this. Wiz is also really good in time as well. So that's it for the For Hire monsters. I'll put Raphael and stuff right here. So that's it for the For Hire monsters. It's a pretty standard lineup, and obviously it's a lot of monsters, but you need to be playing a lot of monsters in these Sekka's Light Danger build, right? So yeah, if I didn't mention before, it is a Sekka's Light build. So for the Danger engine, you are playing double Danger Nessie, double Jackalope, double Tsuchinoko. Obviously the good 2-ofs, like these gets you free monsters on the field. The problem with these actually in this deck is that the levels are kind of awkward, and the levels being kind of awkward kind of does suck. It does get you the body, which makes you a lot of link plays, but there's actually some pretty good dangers in the deck that you want to play. So one is double Bigfoot. So I only have one Bigfoot, so I'm sorry for proxying the second one, but you do want to play double Bigfoot. Double Bigfoot is very, very important. It's a level 8. It's a beater for this deck, so it actually helps you OTK. If I didn't say this already, I don't think I said it, but this deck does OTK really well, and you really do want to go second with this deck. Going first with this deck is not actually bad at all because you can set up like an Apollo plus a rank 8 play or a rank 4 play. So that's why I think the level 8s and the levels actually matter in this deck, because when you have levels that work well together, you can actually make really good first turn plays. Going second, it doesn't really matter because you just make a bunch of monsters so that you can OTK your opponent. So double Danger Bigfoot, same reason you're playing Thunderbird. It's a level 8, pops back row. By the way, I don't know if I said, but Bigfoot pops face up. This pops anything set, so it actually pops set monsters if you wanted to, but usually you're just going to be popping a back row card. So Thunderbird is really, really good in that sense. Gets rid of your opponent's cards going second, and then also puts a body on the board if need be. And then the last Danger monster I play is one Mothman. Now, I was was actually really back and forth between Mothman and Chupacabra, because Chupacabra does get you an extra body on board, but I realized Mothman is just a little bit better, because being able to discard some of your danger monsters, other ones that are in hand, it gives you some really nice utility effects. So that's why I decided to play the Mothman. And then speaking of Mothman's effect, another really good card to discard is Destrudo. So I'm playing double Destrudo. The reason for that, it actually gets you into your synchro plays once you make your combos. Destrudo is actually a really good extender in that sense as well. So double Destrudo, really good to ditch off Mothman, and then really good just to pitch off any of your dangers. If like you reveal a danger with 5 in hand and they hit your Destrudo, that's obviously really good as well. So double Destrudo, really good card in that sense. And then the only hand trap you're playing is triple Nibiru, the primal being. Like I said, this is a going second kind of deck. You really want to go second, break your opponent's boards, and just OTK your opponent. The thing is, again, like I said, it can go first, and when your opponent forces you to go first, it does suck having the Nibiru, but for the most part, like, your opponent's going to want to go first in this format, and then if you win the dice roll, you're going to want to go second anyways. So that's why I main deck the Nibiru. Nibiru is an insanely strong card. Like, it's so good right now in this format. You can't not be playing it. It's too good to not be played. So triple Nibiru, I think this is actually still very important. And the thing is, even going first, you can just sit on it in hand. If you don't want to, you can just make a really small board first turn, and then wait for your opponent, and then just Nibiru on their turn regardless, right? So Nibiru, just in that sense, helps you play around different things. Going second, again, Nibiru is insanely good. Helps you out your opponent's boards, and then you can just OTK from there. That's what this deck wants to do. And yeah, so if you guys don't want to play the Nibirus, you can play other hand traps obviously as well, but I just think Nibiru is too good. And then for the last card in the main deck, you are playing triple Sekka's Light. Obviously, I didn't even want to separate the spells and the monsters, because I mean the only spell you are playing is Sekka's Light. If you guys don't know what Sekka's Light does, it's basically Potted Greed. If you have no spell or trap cards in your graveyard, you can't activate any other spell or trap cards for the rest of the duel except for Sekka's Light. But then the other effect is you can actually banish this card, and then you put a monster back into your deck, and then you draw a card, which is really good because it actually just helps mulligan your hand. So if you see multiple of the same for hire monster, which you really never want to see, what you can do is you can just put back the second for hire monster and get another draw in hopes of, you know, getting a good card in your hand, like something more usable, right? So that's it for the main deck. It's 40 on the dot. You could play more than 40 theoretically, but I think 40 is just really good with the Sekka's Light, because playing 3 Sekka's Light in 40 is like makes it this a really good chance to see it, and then seeing this turn 1 is obviously insanely good as well. So that's it for the main deck. It is a 40 card main deck. So before I actually get into this extra deck, if you guys want to see the deck list, if you guys want to see the 40 cards laid out in front of you instead of, you know, going through each card by card and pausing the video, what you can do is you can check out my Discord. On my Discord, every time I upload a deck profile, I put the deck list on the Discord as well, so you guys can check that out on the Discord. So let's get into the extra deck. So I am playing 1 Folgo. I usually play 2 of these in for hire, but 1 Folgo is actually just enough in this build. You don't need it as much as you did in the other for hire builds. With this build, you're really just trying to OTK. So Folgo does come out, but it's not the most relevant. It's not the most important card, I should say, actually. Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn for your Nightmare package. This is obviously really good. If you guys wanted to low-key, I know it's not this deck profile, but you can play for higher Orcus pretty easily. Like, I mean, why not put 2 monsters on the board? Full Orcus combo. But you do play the Nightmare package, obviously utility cards that helps you get through your opponent's board, and then once you break through your opponent's board, you can just OTK from there. So obviously utility cards that are really, really good. 1 Underclock Taker does help you OTK as well. Just putting it on top in your extra monster zone and being able to summon a big monster under it, again, helps you OTK. This is actually really good in tandem with Link Karibo, because what you do is if you have a Philo, right, what you'll do is you'll make your Philo into your Link Karibo. Let's say you have a bunch of other cards in your head, right, but you make your Philo into your Link Karibo. Then what you'll do is you'll summon a rank 4 or rank 8 under Link Karibo, and then you can use Link Karibo on another monster, let's say another danger monster, to actually make Underclock Taker in another zone, and then it opens up another zone for you, right? That's why these two are actually really good together, because Link Karibo gets you a zone, and then once you use that zone, you can actually underclock into the other zone, and assuming that it's open, and then you can open up another zone for yourself. So that's why I really, really like these cards. Also, Link Karibo going first, you can actually just sit on this, and it's actually not bad either, because again, it's battle protection. And then to OTK your opponent, you are playing 1 Borosword Dragon. It's very easy to make in this deck, so Borosword insanely good. I am playing 1 Borolo Dragon. 1 Borolo is really good as well, just to get over boss monsters, and a lot of decks actually have a lot of trouble outing this. For example, like Thunder Dragon, this card is very hard for them to out, so Borolo is really good. And then you are playing 1 Apollo Yusa. Unfortunately, guys, I do not have the card, so I am proxying it. I hate proxying cards, but I don't have the card. I will put the Apollo Yusa on the screen though. So 1 Apollo Yusa, because it's insanely good, and it's also really easy to make in this deck. And a lot of the times is you'll make Apollo Yusa in the extra monster zone, And then if you have a Destrudo in your hand, all you need is Destrudo and any other monster, you'll end up making a Dawn Dragster under it. And with that, you have a spell negate and then a Polyusa, like 3 to 4 monster negates, right? So that's why that's the kind of end board that you want to make going first every single time, which is obviously a really strong end board, right? So one Apollousa, insanely good card. Again, it'll be on this screen, and this is basically your go-to every time you're forced to go first. One Dweller for the rank 4. I am playing one Dweller because Dweller obviously is very easy to make in this deck. Like I showed you guys earlier, you have your Seal, you have your Bravo as your level 4s. You also have Mothman, which helps you get into level 4 plays. So the level 4s are actually really, really important in this because against obviously Orcus mirrors, against obviously the Orcus matchup, Salad matchup, Dweller is obviously insanely good. I am playing one Baguska. If you can't get into Apollousa with your Dawn Dragster, sometimes you can just sit on Baguska, and that's pretty good on its own just to stall out a couple turns. You never really need to make this, but you know, if you're forced to go first again, you need to be able to make something just so you don't die the next turn. So basically Baguska is there for that. One Dingirsu and one Hope Harbinger. Now the reason I play the one Dingirsu is because you can actually hard make it in this deck. Like I said, you can make rank 8s in this deck with your Raphael, with your Bigfoot, with your Thunderbird. So rank 8s are actually very, very prominent in this deck. And again, if you can't make Apollo with like a Dawn Dragster, you make Apollo with Hope Harbinger, and it's the exact same thing. You have a spell and trap card negate, and then you have your Apollo, which is monster negate. So that's why Hope Harbinger is just really, really good in that sense. And then also because you also want to go second on OTK, Dingirsu, if you can make the rank 8 play, helps you OTK as well. If your opponent summons a monster that you can't otherwise out, you just make Dingirsu to send it to the graveyard, and then from there on you can OTK, right? So this is really good for going second, this is really good for going first. And then the last two synchro monsters I play is one Borreload Savage Dragon, which is actually really easy to make in this because what you do most of the time is you'll Destrudo target your B or any other level 3 monster, make your Destrudo a level 4, but then you'll use Destrudo on a level 4 monster to make Savage, assuming you go into any of your Link monsters, and then this helps you get an Omni negate going first. Going second, this is actually not bad either because it becomes a really big beater, so you can actually just go Boral Savage. This is also really good against the Stride Striker matchup, I should mention. What you can do is you can make Savage, and then once you get out their extra deck monster, what ends up happening is you can just Savage negate the Ray, right? Which again will help you OTK in that sense. So Boral Savage is really good. And then the one at FA Dawn Dragster again. So your first turn boards, if you need to go first, are Apollo, FA, Apollo, Hope Harbinger, or something in Baguska. That's basically your first turn boards. Your better boards are like Link Karibo, Baguska, like that, something like that. Because this way, then your opponent can't really break your board and can't beat you in that turn, and it buys you a couple turns. So that's it for the extra deck. It is a 15 card extra deck. So guys, as I say in all my videos, if you guys have any changes you would make to the deck, any suggestions, leave it in the comment section down below, or join the Discord and we can talk about it there. We all love helping each other out on the Discord, so obviously the Discord is one place for all of us to talk about these decks, to put these decks together, and just talk about other things in Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, right? And it doesn't always have to be decks that we talk about. It can be the ban list, it could be what Konami needs to do about new product, etc, etc. But you guys can join the Discord. See for yourselves, man. The Discord is very fun. We're having a lot of fun on the Discord. Also, if you guys like these deck profiles, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And with that, guys, Spanko signing out.
My hands steady, I feel ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this, cross my shit.